Morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this Friday Eve. Rod, we're going to get to your forecast in a second, but you know, if you've been watching all week during the Olympics, Nina is reporting live from Portland Japanese Garden. Nina, good morning. What do you have coming up for us?
Yeah, good morning to you guys, and our second to last day here at the Portland Japanese Garden. We have a really great story coming up for you today. You're going to meet an incredible woman, Marguerite Drake. She goes by Maggie. She has lived through so much history, and she's one of the people that's really responsible for bringing this treasure to life that's here in the Portland West Hills of the Japanese Garden. Maggie Drake is 94. You'd never know it, though, by her charm and smile. And we sat down with her this week to talk about the early days of the garden and why she feels it was so important for our community. So she was there on day one as the city began plans back in the 60s, and she's been here ever since, even leading the garden for a time. So what's really inspiring is to see her light up when she talks about the people she's known through the garden community. Her dedication is really inspiring. That story is coming up here at 5:40. Guys, back to you.
We also like it when the sun comes up there. Beautiful shots from Japanese Garden for the last couple of weeks, so we look forward to that a little bit later. Let's talk about that sun, Rod.
Rise at 5:59 this morning. This is the last morning the sun will come up before 6 a.m.
For the rest of our lives?
Anybody? That makes me a little sad.
For the rest of our lives?
Well, for the foreseeable future,
okay.
sir.
Okay.
All right, couple headlines real quick. Fire weather warnings in red. That's most of Oregon, all of Oregon actually, east of the Cascades. Air quality warnings are now creeping up into the South Willamette Valley. That does include you folks in Lynn County and in particular Albany. Good morning to you. 67 in Portland, mostly clear overall. In just the last hour, the Columbia River sites reporting a little bit of cloud cover. 76 at noon, 86 today. That's it. Should be a real comfortable Thursday for you.
All right, Rod, we'll check back in with Rod a little bit later, but right now we want to get to our top story this hour. COVID cases continuing to rise in many parts of Oregon. So we reached out to local healthcare leaders to find out how they plan to deal with this latest surge.
Pat Doris found out the situation is even worse than it was 8 months ago when Governor Brown ordered a temporary shutdown in several counties.
Around the state of Oregon, doctors are sounding the alarm.
The case increase is staggering. It's the rate that we're seeing increases in our area, in Oregon, and in the United States is higher than we've seen any other time during this pandemic.
That's Dr. Cynthia Marie from St. Charles Hospital in Bend. At the beginning of July, the hospital had a handful of COVID cases. Now there are roughly 20. To the south, in Medford, the Asante group with 3 hospitals had 8 COVID patients in early July. Now the group has 60.
Unfortunately, I think our community is under-vaccinated as far as the percentage, and we're really stressing how important it is to get vaccinated, to stay out of the hospital.
To the east, Umatilla County has hundreds of COVID cases, most not vaccinated, says the county health officer, Dr. John Hitzman.
We're seeing 30, 40, and 50-year-olds who are actually healthy getting very, very sick, and some of them are dying. These are unvaccinated people.
And in Portland, OHSU has 21 COVID patients. 15 of them are in the ICU.
We're definitely seeing a rise in our hospitalized patients with this Delta variant, particularly in our ICUs, quite frankly. We're not seeing the same increase in general hospitalizations, but the significant number of patients that are being admitted to our ICUs is very evident.
So what statewide actions are being taken by the governor or OHA to slow the rising numbers? Other than making it easier for medical employers to pressure workers to get vaccinated, very little.
We all know that COVID-19...
It's a huge change from last November, before we had the vaccine. Governor Kate Brown back then ordered a 2-week shutdown in several counties after the daily COVID count topped 1,100, and by November 13th, 356 patients were hospitalized.
The cycle of this virus is such that we are seeing case rates topping 1,000 per day now. And that means our hospitals are headed for some very dark days ahead.
With so many still unvaccinated in Oregon, there may be more dark days ahead. August 3rd, the state reported 1,500 new cases and 379 in the hospital. Pat Doris, KGW News.
All right, from Pat's report, we want to jump into some more of today's top headlines. We start with firefighters quickly putting out a fire along I-84 in Troutdale late yesterday afternoon. It started near 238th Avenue. Crews say the flames there did manage to jump nearby train tracks, and a Motel 6 in that area had to be evacuated as the fire spread.
And it takes so little to start a fire in these conditions. It can be that flipped cigarette that people have flipped cigarettes for their entire life of smoking, but this is the one that did it this time. So if that was the cause, it just can be the simplest things that can get these things going.
Again, firefighters acted quickly here. They did put that fire out. We still don't know yet what caused it. This next story is out of Dayton. It's pretty crazy. A kayaker is recovering this morning after she was hit by a plane. The small yellow plane, you can see it here from this shot from Sky 8. It was taking off from the gravel bar in the Willamette River there near Dayton, and that's when it hit the kayak. So the kayaker was seriously hurt, but we're told she should be okay. Police say the pilot is cooperating as they continue to investigate what they think was just a bad accident. In Portland, the city is designating new 5-minute free parking spots. There will be 25 of these spots around town, to start with at least. It's an idea that began during the pandemic when places started doing takeout and curbside pickups. The city will use feedback here over the next few months to figure out if this idea actually works or not. And